In last few years, many people have been asking me that do they have to come from a computer science or a IT engineering background to become a data scientist? So guys, I'm someone who is coming from electronics and telecommunications engineering background. It's a non-programming background which I have. And I got into a data science field and all the way up to a chief data scientist role at Barclays. So in this video, I would share my career journey, that how I transformed my career from a non-programming role to chief data scientist role in a top company like Barclays. Hi, my name is Rohit and I've been working in data science and AI field from last 10 years. And let's get into my career journey. And I'm very sure it is going to help you to get idea and clues around how you can transform your career into data science. Let's get started. So I did my engineering in electronics and telecommunications engineering, and as most of the ENTC engineers think, I also had fantasy of designing my own antennas and doing something around the telecom domain. But the first role that I got was into software QA engineer role that was in Cisco. So I worked as a software QA engineer in Cisco. That was around the 3G and 4G products which I was testing. So after working there for a year, I realized that this is not something I want to do. I want to work on something which is more interesting, more around problem solving, because that kind of exposure I was not getting in a testing role. So those of you who are working in software testing, they would clearly understand what I want to say over here. So then I decided to go for masters. I went to Germany and I did my masters from Technical University of Darmstadt in Germany. And during my masters, I learned subject around machine learning. So there was a top professor which was teaching us machine learning, but that concepts or the topics which were covered during that session was around theory. So all the theory around machine learning was covered. So what I made sure is along with that theory, I'm practicing on my own. I'm putting some efforts, going through multiple materials available on YouTube, various websites, and trying to understand how machine learning can be used for problem solving. So that helped me in building my problem solving skills. Another good thing that I did was I went for internship after learning machine learning, and I got my first internship where I had to work on image and video data. I had to apply machine learning on that data. And I was very lucky to work with someone who was expert in that machine learning and computer vision domain. And as I worked closely with that senior person, right, again, it helped me in building my problem solving skills, that how particular problem can be solved by applying machine learning. So during that time frame, I got to work on machine learning models like support vector machine, k-means clustering, deep learning, all that exposure I got. I also started learning Python and C++. So whenever we were working on videos, I was using C++. For working on the image data, deep learning, I was using Python. So I was not having any programming experience before that, guys. I learned those skills on the job. So if I can do it without any programming experience, you can do it as well. But for that, obviously, you have to put a lot of efforts. So even after coming home from the job, I was spending 1 or 2 hours to understand the programming concepts, to understand the machine learning. And that basically helped me in gaining that confidence that yes, I can also do something which is related to the programming domain, because I'm building my problem solving skills. Because eventually, as a data scientist, if there is one skill set which would set you apart from other people, is your problem solving skills. Because everyone is going to have access to the same libraries, everyone is going to have access to the same machine learning models. But how you approach that problem, how you break down that problem, which kind of features you create, that problem solving skill is something which is very important. And you can learn it by doing. Then I decided to came back to India, and when I came back to India, I was very clear that I want to focus more on machine learning. Don't want to become a data specific. I don't want to work only on image and video data. So made a conscious decision while coming back to India, and I took a role in automotive and manufacturing domain as a senior data scientist. And there I got to work on numerical data, text data, categorical data, and I was applying machine learning models on top of that data. So I created models for identifying issues which are created in the engines. I created predictive maintenance models. And again, during that time frame, when I started that role, in initial time period, I was feeling that things have changed completely. Because when you work on image and video data, you use different sets of algorithms for feature creation and model building. And when you work on this categorical and text data, it's completely a different game. So again, I had to put a lot of efforts during initial 6 to 8 months to understand those different models, different feature creation methods. For example, TF-IDF, word2vec. That is not at all needed when you work on image and video data, but it is must when you work on the text data. So again, I had to put the efforts. I had to go to Kaggle, understand how people are building projects on the text data. And that helped me again building my profile. And again, I was lucky to work with senior people who really guided me in terms of how to approach any machine learning problem in the industry and how to solve it in end-to-end manner. Then I decided to move on after 1.5 years of working in the automotive and manufacturing domain, and I joined Barclays as a lead data scientist. So in Barclays, I got to work on again various data sets like technology data, investment banking data, multiple data sets I was using and building machine learning models. So I started there as an individual contributor, working as a technical lead on the projects, guiding my junior team members. And during that time frame, I realized that now, along with this technical skill sets which I have, if I want to get into the leadership role, I also have to develop those leadership skills, and that has to be done on the job again. So again, I feel that I was lucky to get senior people who really guided me throughout my career in terms of how I can get into that leadership role. So I started mentoring junior team members. I started giving sessions related to data science across the company. That again helped me in bringing out the leadership. I created the working group where different data science teams within the company were coming together and sharing their knowledge with each other, sharing their projects with each other. Again, that helped me to get different perspective in terms of what kind of data science projects and problems are getting solved across various teams within the company. So those kind of things helped me. And then I made sure that I'm delivering successfully on the projects right from the beginning till end. Because one of the challenge in data science projects when you work on the industry is many projects stay in proof of concept stage, where you build the model, but the model is actually not getting used by the end stakeholder. And this is something where I again got like a good guidance from my stakeholders, my seniors, and I made sure that I'm taking projects right from the beginning till end use. So it is very important that the projects are delivering that business value. This is something I made sure during my role as a lead data scientist. And that helped me to get a promotion as a chief data scientist. And in that role, then I started building my own data science team. I hired multiple data scientists during that time frame. And we delivered projects and initiatives which had impact across Barclays. So when I look back in my career, I think that I was focusing on the right thing at the right time. So you have to do the same thing, guys, even if you are coming from a non-programming or a programming background. If you want to get into a leadership role into data science, you have to focus on right thing at the right time. In initial time period, during initial 3 to 5 years, as your journey as a data scientist, you should focus more on the technical understanding. You have to understand different algorithms, different approaches, different problem solving ways. And when you work on any project, closely observe how senior people are discussing with the stakeholders, how they are presenting the results, which points they are stressing, how not to go into too much technical depth when you are presenting to a non-technical stakeholder, because they might want to know the business impact, what exactly you are doing and how it is going to help them to solve the business problem. They are least interested to know how neural networks model work or how, for example, XGBoost model works. They want to know that whichever model you are using, how you are solving their business problem. So you have to talk with the right level of technical depth with different people. If you're discussing with other data science team, you can keep that conversation more technical because they can get that. So all these skill sets you have to build when you get into latter stage of your career. After 5 years, you have to start mentoring your junior team members. You have to start identifying the new business problems which can be solved using data science and machine learning. Because to get into the leadership role, you should understand where to apply data science. You should be able to get that sign off from the stakeholders, and you would have junior members working with you who would work with you in developing that technical solution. So this has been my career journey, guys, and you have to keep putting the efforts throughout your career journey, and you have to focus on the right thing at the right time. And this would help you to get to the top roles in data science without any kind of a particular background. So I'm not coming from a computer science or IT engineering background. I started as an electronics and telecommunications engineer, but I never felt that that background was blocking any opportunity in my career as a data scientist. Rather, I felt that if I had tried to do my career into a software engineering field, I might have struggled, honestly. This was the field where I could use programming just at the level where it is needed. But at the same time, the skills like problem solving, stakeholder communication, all those skill sets are equally important in data scientist role. And that definitely helped me to fast track my career. So thanks for watching this video, guys. And I hope you have clarity now that how you can raise your career, how you can take your career to the next level by putting efforts throughout your career journey and focusing on the right thing at the right time. Thanks for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.